Hello friends, this is Sanjay Shah. I am reading you my first novel called The Unfiled Case. Chapter 1, Challenges of Big Empire. Ganesh was thinking about his employer. It is really not an employer but employers. It is a big family. Family is not just big due to having many members, but big due to lots of influence on the life of people, on politics, on economics of the area. Family of Mohite Patil was a well-known political clout in the area. Dada Saheb was a veteran leader, close to the party leader. In fact, he was one of the founding members of the party many years back, and now he was reaping the benefits of his loyalty. As happens with veteran leaders, Dada Saheb had many relatives claiming his legacy and maintaining their own smaller circles of influence, feeding into the whole family empire. Larger among those satraps were Abhay Singha, known as Bhau Saheb, and Tara Didi, both offsprings of Dada Saheb. Ganesh is from a smaller village nearby, where Dada Saheb started as village sarpanch many years back. Ganesh was currently employed as driver for Bhau Saheb's cars. There were many cars in the convoy and Bhau Saheb would love to drive. On days Bhau Saheb took off on his own or has taken Mercedes or BMW, Ganesh is left at the bungalow just waiting for orders. The drivers were to remain there full day and not leave, as any time someone from the bungalow may call for a car and one has to be ready. The driver's cabin near the garage had a phone and someone had to man the phone constantly. Ganesh did not like manning the phone or sitting in the cabin, as most drivers would just keep watching the small wall-mount TV. The TV would constantly blare new Marathi songs, most of them with loud music and some with double meaning. The driver group enjoyed the songs, gossiped about either the bungalow or the Bollywood, and while their time away. Ganesh thought he was not like them, as he had a graduate degree in law. He felt that he was made for better things. He tried his luck in bigger city, Pune, for a couple of years. He had an assignment-based employment with a lawyer. The employer-lawyer himself did not have an office and expected Ganesh to catch clients when they entered the civil court gates. A swarm of people with black coats tried to corner every person entering the gate for an affidavit or notarization. Negotiating petty fees and getting small commission for getting small-time work done did not work well for Ganesh. After 2 years of struggle, he came back to Akluj, his village. After returning to village, Ganesh tried couple of small-time legal work, but it did not lead to any solid conclusion. Then one of those days, he had to bite the bullet and let his urge for having a job overcome his white-collar ego. Dada Saheb was always kind to villagers, as he started his political journey from this village. Dada Saheb's assistant made him wait outside for a few hours. Then Dada Saheb just met him in the passing. This happened a few times over some weeks. He had to introduce himself again and again and say that he is from Akluj. Dada Saheb then would smile at him and tell him to come back a week later. After a few weekly trips, his persistence paid off. Ganesh was asked, "Can you drive?" As he said he could, he was given the job of a driver. Ganesh remembered this instance about 5 years back and smirked at his luck. It was a summer afternoon and most of the drivers were relaxing after their meal. The activity in the bungalow was also limited. Everybody expected a nice, relaxed afternoon, followed by an lazy tea session. However, the phone in the cabin rang. Nobody picked it up. It rang one more time and Ganesh had to walk in the cabin. If the phone rings more than a few times before picking up, the bungalow is definitely going to be angry. So Ganesh picked it up. It was one of the personal assistants. Bungalow was full of such PAs, and they wielded all the power over the house servants, maids, and drivers. The formal voice from the phone asked tersely, "Who is this?" "I'm Ganesh, Bhau Saheb's driver." "Okay, this is Priya, Vaini Saheb's PA. She is going out now, pick her up in the porch." The line snapped. There was no ask, no discussion, just an order. Cars and drivers have to be ready for the order. You can't say a word. Just follow the orders. Else, there are obviously many options that the bungalow has to replace you. Ganesh had no option. He took up his cap, the car keys, and picked up Vaini Saheb at the front porch. Vaini Saheb is wife of Dada Saheb. Ganesh has seen her only a few times despite his 5 years of service. Couple of times she came with Bhau Saheb in his car for a temple visit, but otherwise she was a very private person. Unlike Dada Saheb, Bhau Saheb and Tara Didi, who were all public figures, held political posts and were always on pages of newspaper, Vaini Saheb did not appear in the news many times. Vaini Saheb was alone in the car, no assistant. She ordered Ganesh to take the car to Kale Vakil's office. Drivers are expected to know the frequently visited places. Ganesh dutifully took her there and waited outside. Though he could not stop a thought crossing his mind that if he had better staying power in legal profession, he could have been inside the office. But for the weak position of father's farming and loans that his family has piled up from time to time for various occasions, he could have been Ganesh Vakil. The thought excited him, but a hot dusty slap of wind brought him to reality. Ganesh was a perceptive human being and always read the political page very keenly. He followed Dada Saheb's political activity very closely. Of course, they have to do the extra duty when the elections come around, which is alternate year. Some elections for center, state, and there were numerous local governments, Gram Panchayat, Taluka level, district elections. But apart from these, there was always push and pull between various elements. Sometimes Dada Saheb had to give in to high command, sometimes push for his own interests. Even the satraps in the political empire were not satisfied all the time. They had their interest, influence, changing with each passing day. Dada Saheb had to manage the bhaus, tais, and even other feeding him power. It was so difficult to manage these things. There are too many challenges, too many parts which claim the same spot at the same time. It's an empire of perception, facade of cooperation, which had many layers of coaxing, cajoling, pushing, threatening, and even carrying out threats. It's too challenging to manage the empire. To keep this running for over 2 decades like what Bhau Saheb has done was really incredible. Ganesh waited outside for quite some time. It was now evening. The meeting lasted for almost 4 hours. Vaini Saheb came out and made him drive back to bungalow. While dropping off, she ordered him to go back to Kale Vakil the next morning and get the documents that he will make ready. Next day, he drove back to the lawyer's office and reported at the reception that he had come back for documents. Kale Vakil was an old man. He came out with a frown face and looked at Ganesh. You came back pretty early. You may have to wait, he said. Ganesh nodded. They were kind enough to make Ganesh sit at the reception on a chair. It took another few hours before the lawyers gave him a file and made him go away. Ganesh moved back to the car, kept the folder on the side seat, and started to drive back to the bungalow. He was thinking of going back to his village for a couple of days, as his mother insisted on meeting some prospects for marriage proposal. Being a driver of Bhau Saheb was considered a good enough job for a bridegroom to get married. If he was just a farmer, most of the families would not consider him eligible. Lost in thoughts, Ganesh did not see a biker pushing his luck to cross the road before his car passed through. Suddenly he saw them in the nick of time and slammed the brake urgently. Whoosh! In a minute the biker passed by. Ganesh was relieved. No one was hurt, but in the melee, the folder from the passenger seat dropped down. Some papers also came out from it. Vaini Sahib will not be amused with this. Ganesh carefully stopped the car on the side, put on the cabin light, and collected the papers from the floor. He was just arranging the papers back in the folder, and there he saw some highlighted numbers: 299, 304, 322. These were basic numbers for a law student, IPC sections which are related to culpable homicide, manslaughter, and hurting. He had marked this for his classes many years back. Section 299 of Indian Penal Code defines culpable homicide as whosoever causes death by doing an act with the intention of causing death or with the intention of causing such bodily injury as it is likely to cause death, or with the knowledge that he is likely by such act to cause death, commits the offense of culpable homicide. What is this case that Vaini Sahib is interested in? She is never a political figure, and then why she has to go alone to Kale Vakil for such a heinous criminal act? What are the challenges she may be facing? What is the challenge that Dada Saheb's empire was facing? Ganesh did not dwell on many of these thoughts. He collected the papers, kept them neatly in the folder, and went back to the bungalow. That's end of chapter 1. Thank you.